Just this past week, I headed back to the fallow deer grind. I actually hadn't shot fallow deer in almost a year. Over the past week, I did manage to spawn 2 of my biggest rares ever. One was a fallow and one was a whitetail. But today I'm going to go through all of my very best tips for herd managing your grind, whether it be fallow or whitetail or whatever Great One grind you are doing. We're also going to talk about how to deal with solo zones because they can be very frustrating and hard to deal with, and they definitely can ruin your herd management, and we don't want that. And we do have a new Great One coming into the game on June the 18th. That is the Great One Tar in Sundar Patan, so we definitely want to be prepared and be ready. But let me know in the comments, guys, which Great One you would love to have more than any other Great One in the game, and somewhere in the video I am going to share a key phrase. Drop that in the comments for your chance to be featured in a video. We choose one viewer each month, and if you are on console, then it would be a voice chat also featured in a video. Now, when I came back to Te Awaroa to set up for the fallow grind, my map was already herd managed from when I was grinding fallow last summer, but I did pull all my setups down and I did reset up on this map for red deer. So I pulled all my tents and tripods from the red deer grind and I did reset up for the fallow grind, but there's something you should be aware of if you leave a map for an extended period of time. Now, I guess I didn't come onto this map for maybe 3 months, and what happens is your zones vanish. Now, it's not like you have all new zones. I have exactly the same zones. I just didn't have the drink zone indicator there, so I had to run all of my zones, rediscover them. They were all in the exact same spots, and my map was still exactly the way that I left it. It was still herd managed. So now that I have done that, we're back grinding fallow deer. But the fallow deer grind is actually the one grind I do recommend to do first for new players, and the reason for that is because there are only 30 to 35 drink zones here in New Zealand for fallow deer, and that makes herd managing this grind very, very easy to do, especially when you're comparing it to maps like for moose in New England. There are over 200 drink zones. Compare that to 30 to 35, it's a pretty crazy difference. All right, well, let's take a couple fallow here. Got 'em! Beautiful. Now, I do have a fallow guide for here in New Zealand, but if you are looking to find all of your fallow zones, 218, that's a nice one. Let me show you where you're going to be looking on this map. So these 2 lakes, one of the very best spots. You should have between 4 and 6 drink zones at these 2 lakes. Then you want to start right over here at the coast. You want to run it all the way up to right here, then all the way back, all the way down until it goes out of render, which it isn't going to show me. But basically to this outpost here. Then you will have 3 drink zones at this lake. You'll have fallow zones all along the right side of this lake right here. And you should have 1 zone on this lake, and it's actually just a solo zone for me. It is right there, and that's the only place you will have fallow on your map. Now, you do have to have 16 tents in order to start any grind. You can add tripods later. Oh, we have another piebald. Look at that, man. We are spawning. That's my 3rd piebald in less than 400 kills. That's pretty good. He's a pretty one. Not bad at all. But basically, when you're discovering your drink zones, definitely bring those tents with you and set up as you go. When you find a zone that has nice big deer in it, it's nice and wide open, and it isn't going to take you forever to run over there and pick up your kills, that might be a zone that you want to set up as a main shooting zone. So your main shooting zones are the zones that you're going to grind for the duration of the grind. These are your favorite zones, and everything else basically is an exterior zone, but you can only deal with 8 exterior zones at a time because we can only have 16 tents on the map at a time. So you set up on 16 zones, 8 main and 8 exterior. Let's take these 2 first. I'd like to take this guy. You know what? Let's fire a 22 and get him to move. Try anyway. Okay, he's moving. And they're glitching in the water, and that's never good. And still hidden. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. Here we go. Get it? I got him! Beautiful. Now, I do have pickup tents because in my grind, I have already managed down my exterior zones. So basically, once you are set up on 16 zones, you want to start rotating, and you rotate on all of them at the same time. You don't want to rotate on just your mains or just your exteriors. You're going to rotate on all of them. And what you want to be doing is shooting the mid-levels and up and stacking the diamonds. So for fallow deer, you want to be shooting the mid to large level 3s and up. And when you spawn a level 5 at a main shooting zone, leave it, don't shoot it right away. By stacking diamonds, what that is going to do is cause you to get smaller respawns, and at the beginning, you want smaller respawns, especially at your exterior zones, so that you can shoot them down. And once you do get to an exterior zone, if you find there is nothing good there to shoot, and I will show you an example in just a second, then that's a good thing. Then it's time to pull that tent and tripod, move it to another exterior zone, and keep moving your setups until all of your exterior zones are shot down. And shot down just means there's nothing good to shoot there. Everything is small. And there is our piebald. It is just a silver, but man, I love the piebald fallow. They are absolutely gorgeous. And I am gonna taxi it. Yeah, he's just below gold. Okay, so I have 2 shot down zones here. Let me show you. So this is one here. That is the biggest buck that I have in this zone. It is a small 3. So basically, if you look at it and it looks like a level 2, treat it like it's a level 2. That is a very tiny 3. So I definitely would not shoot that. And there's nothing else to shoot here. So that is a shot down zone. So if you get to a zone and that's what it looks like, pull up your tent and tripod and move it to another zone where there are bigger deer, an exterior zone, and continue shooting. Do that until all your exteriors are shot down. Then you can pull up all the tents and tripods from your exterior zones and set them up as pickup tents. But before you do that, you do want to deal with your solo zones. And this is another shot down zone here. Nothing worthy of a bullet. Now, I'm going to show you the highlights of the stream that I did the other day where we got that very, very sweet piebald, my biggest piebald fallow ever. And I actually explain how to deal with solos. Let's have a look at that here. Is that a piebald? That's a beautiful piebald. That is a nice one. Yes, we spawned a beautiful piebald. 196 to 238. I don't think there's any albinos here, but we have 2 really beautiful deer and one is a piebald. Yes, look at that piebald. That is stunning. I love their new piebald fallow. They're so beautiful. Look at that beauty. Awesome, we got him. And I'm gonna click our first rare. 218. Oh, he's actually quite nice. Isn't he beautiful? 238? That is my biggest fallow piebald. I didn't realize he was that big. I totally underestimated him. I'm taxiing that immediately. 238? That is a beautiful one. That's amazing. That's my biggest piebald fallow. In all the grinds that I've done, this is the biggest one so far. Yes, that is awesome. I'm glad we stuck with fallow. Good call, guys. And we have deer. Yay. And we have a 5 medium. All right. When do I get early access? I don't know yet. They said to check this week in our inbox. That's what they said. Hold on, let me pull open my email. I do have an email. Oh, okay, so the embargo lifts on the 14th. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, after the stream, I'm going to Nepal. I didn't expect to get it that early, but that is very, very exciting. Yes. Okay. Darn it. So that's very exciting. Early access. Yes. Okay, no escape for you. First 2 kills for fallow in a very long time. And we have our first diamond. Not a big one, but it is a diamond. 252.1, diamond number 1. Oh, we have another level 5. Let's go. That looked beauty. Okay, double splat. There we go, 260.15. Beautiful, and he's a chocolate. And that was a decent one. How many furs for fallow? Is there 6? I'd have to look right now. Hold on, I can pull them up. Step into my office here. This is my computer, and we have fallow. So that's the painted. I like the painted. Then we have the mocha. So that's 2. I don't have one of those. Hooded. I don't have one of those. That's 3. Golden. I have one of those. That's 4. Oh, here's the fur chart. There we go. There's 5. Golden, mocha, silver, hooded, and painted. So I need a mocha and a hooded. I have the rest of the furs. I have 2 silvers, 1 painted, and 1 golden. Mocha and hooded. That's what we're after. And any rack at all, except for the Irish shell crack. Please. That would be sweet. I shoot solo zones when they are bigger. For fallow, I would only shoot a deer from a solo zone if it were a big 3 or bigger. And what you want to do is first if you can, you're gonna get the best results if you deal with your solos once you have a bunch of diamonds stacked, because that's going to really encourage your respawn to be small that's going into your solo zone. But what I did with the moose, and it worked great, was when you take care of your solos, you want to be on a fresh game startup. You haven't shot anything, nothing is in restart heaven, so basically leave the game and come back and you're on a fresh game startup. Then you go and you shoot your bigger solo, and then you go to one of your main shooting zones and shoot a very small deer, because there's a 50-50 chance that their respawns are going to swap zones. And then harvest everything. You got to go and refine the zone. I can get him. You're supposed to turn. Oh my gosh, that is a nice fellow. Okay. I got him. Oh, he is huge. He is a big one. 255.46 is not as big as I thought, but he is a diamond. Sweet. And that's diamond number 3. Now, one thing I do want to mention, guys, is that I do the 1 minute trick a lot with the fallow grind. I do find that the fallow often don't show up when I fast travel to the zone. And so I just put the time forward by 1 minute, and that usually brings them into their zone. Now, it is expensive and not everybody can afford to do that. The other thing you can do is leave the map and come back, or just go to the next zone and come back later. Now, I grind with the 300 AR for the deer that don't matter. I don't really care if I get a gold or a silver. I just want them to respawn for me and bring me better deer, basically better respawns. And then I am carrying the Zarza 308, and that is for diamonds and rares. Beautiful, double splat. And when I change the time, I usually set it to 11:45. I like to grind at the very end of their drink time. I find that brings the deer into their zones definitely faster. And then when we get to 1300, which is the end time for fallow drink time, then I set the time back to 11:45. Then I leave the map and come back and continue grinding. But I do live stream the grind most evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely come by and check us out. We have a lot of fun. And ironically, I did also spawn my biggest melanistic whitetail buck so far last week on stream. Let's have a look at that. That is a monster. For a second, I wondered if it was a great one. That one. Super angular. See, his rack goes out and up. It doesn't curve. It goes ding, ding. Did I get it? I think so? I don't know. I'm not sure. 210? 267.29. Beautiful. First diamond. Is that a melanistic? Yes! It's not a super rare, but it's a max weight estimate. We have a melanistic. Why couldn't it be a level 3? Here comes greedy me. No, I'm very happy to see that. That is sweet. That is sweet. Oh, we haven't had a melanistic in a long time. Look at that. So cool. 237. That is a nice one. That is a nice one. Beautiful. That's amazing. Yes. Very cool. Very cool indeed. We're doing all right with the rares tonight. Calling a super rare? Well, we just had a rare, man. I don't know if we're gonna get another one. I also wanted to mention that you are looking for between 30 and 35 drink zones for fallow deer in Te Awaroa, and for whitetail in Revontuli, you're looking for 60-ish drink zones. Now, you can definitely use herd management on any great one in the game. If you are herd managing whitetail, then you want to be shooting the level 2s. Leave the tiny 2s. If they look like 1s, treat them like they're 1s. Like this guy, I would not shoot, or this one right here, and stack the level 3s. For anything that goes to 9 legendary, I would then shoot the large level 5s and up and leave everything below. So that would be for red deer and for black bears. But herd management will definitely cause you to spawn way more diamonds. You will get larger rares, and I can definitely thank herd management for those 2 sweet rares we got just a few days ago. And actually, we got those on the same stream. That was actually my biggest melanistic whitetail and my biggest piebald fallow so far. But if you don't want to use herd management, you can absolutely still spawn a great one. Just stick to shooting those males. The bigger the better. I don't think shooting the tiny ones helps a huge amount, but just shoot males and eventually that great one will come along. There is no proof that says that herd management causes great ones to spawn sooner. but it definitely helps with the rest. And double splat. So I really hope that helps you guys out. And if you haven't done so yet, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the like button if you did enjoy the video. And thank you so much for watching. And I'm going to recommend that you watch this video next.